Trump's tariffs on China have yet to be implemented, and at the moment they're largely focused on industrial products, meant to shield consumer-sensitive items. But what happens if things escalate? What else could be included? The U.S. imports more goods from China than any other country in the world. Last year, that total amount was $506 billion worth of goods. Now that got me thinking, how dependent am I on Chinese imports? Well, to answer that question, let's head into my home to find out. Made it up the stairs and welcome to my home. This is where I spend a lot of my time, on this couch. Can you guess where it's made? You guessed it, China. Now what about that chair? Let's take a look. Also made in China. These chairs are made in Vietnam, but the table is made in China. So is this TV console. About 50% of the US's furniture imports come China. My television is a Samsung, so it's made in Korea, not China. But electrical machinery and equipment is the US's top import from China. The category includes cell phones, tablets, remotes, and laptops. Last year, the US imported $147 billion worth of those kinds of goods. What about home products? Made in China. This too, made in China. Let's check out my son's room, which has an abundance of toys. Where is this made? Made in China. All right, what about this bubble machine, which is one of his favorites? Also made in China. And this. Yep, Ningbo, China. Teddy bears, tons of them. Where is this guy made? Also made in China, but by FAO Schwarz. You get the idea. The vast majority of toys you'll find in US households are made in China. And what about clothing? Well, China does have competition from other countries like Vietnam and Turkey. But it's still a juggernaut in the apparel industry. Last year, the U.S. imported roughly $47 billion worth of clothing made in China. And what about sneakers, like these Nike Air Jordans? They were made in China. Last year, the U.S. brought in $1.4 billion worth of kicks from China. How much would the cost of all these goods increase by if the tariffs were implemented? At this point, it's unclear. Retailers traditionally pass on higher costs to consumers, but by how much, we don't know. Now, U.S. companies could shift production to other low-cost countries to skirt the tariffs, but changes to global supply chains can be cumbersome and take time. What seems most clear is that if the tariffs are implemented, U.S. consumers could face a more costly future. Karina Huber, CGTN, New York.